Hey, it's Mark Lanier with your video thought for the day on Valley Week. Now, I love the power of a good story. And what makes a story really good to me is when it's not only interesting and captivating, but also has some type of lessons or a moral background to it. Like even the basic stories. You know, Aesop was famous for that with his fables. Think about the stories we tell our kids, the lessons behind them, the Goldilocks and the Three Bears, for example. I think the moral to that story is don't break into a bear's house. And if you do, don't eat their porridge or break their furniture. You know, there's power in a story. Now, as I'm looking at valleys this week, there are some valley stories in the Bible, and I want to use one today. It's got a very powerful moral lesson. It's also a captivating and good story. And that first story that I want to talk about, the one today, is the first story about a valley in the Bible. It's a story that comes out of the book of Genesis. Now, you've got two main characters in the story. You got Abraham and you got his nephew Lot. Abraham is very wealthy. He has a boatload of livestock. Well, technically, I guess Noah had the boatload of livestock, but you get the metaphor. He's got a bunch of livestock, and his nephew Lot does as well. And their herdsmen are fussing back and forth over who gets the most fertile ground, who's got the most access to water, trying to keep the livestock separate, and the herdsmen are fussing. And so Abraham realizes the best thing to do is to kind of give them each their own territory. So he says to his nephew, hey, look, here's the whole land in front of us. You pick the land you want. You want the land this way, go that way, and I'll go the other. You want the land that way, you go that way, and I'll go the other. It's your pick. So Lot makes his decision, not based on what's fair, not based on his care and concern for his uncle who's been taking care of him, not based on anything other than his own selfishness. He sees the land of the Jordan Valley, we would say, is extremely fertile. It's got the water of the Jordan River. It's got great land for grazing. So instead of saying to his uncle, hey, there's the most valuable land, why don't we divide that up? Instead, he says, I'll take the primo spot. Real estate, real estate, real estate. And you get yours and you go scruff in the other lands. It's not a wise decision. See, that valley also leads down to what's called the Valley of Shittim in Hebrew. We call it maybe the Valley of Siddim. Depends on how you pronounce those words. But that's where Sodom and Gomorrah were. Two bad things happened to Lot as he chose that most fertile land. One bad thing was some kings come in to swoop down on the fertile land, and a bunch of his stuff's taken, and he's kidnapped and taken into slavery, and Abraham has to go rescue him. And the second is the story of Sodom and Gomorrah, and we know how that turned out. This is really got an important moral for you and me. And the moral to this very early story in the Bible is be careful how you make your decisions. Don't make your decisions based upon selfish pleasure. Don't make decisions in this life based upon what you yourself greedily want. That decision leads to no good. Jesus expressed this better with the golden rule: do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. The whole principle is we treat others well. We make our decisions not based upon what we greedily want, but based upon what seems good and fair and right and loving towards others. And that, my friend, is your video thought for the day.